Here's a number that surprises most people. Roughly 2 out of 3 Americans die without a will. They don't intend to, they just never get around to it, and then it's too late. And when that happens, the state steps in and decides who gets everything you built. Not you, not your family, the state. What I'm about to walk you through is what actually happens to your home, your savings, and your kids if you die without a will. It's not what most people expect. And once you hear it, you'll understand why this is the most important paperwork you'll ever sign. So let's start with the basic question. If you die without a will, what happens to your stuff? Here's the honest answer. Your stuff doesn't just disappear, it goes to court. A process called probate. The state appoints someone to take an inventory of everything you own, pay your debts and taxes, and then distribute what's left. But here's the catch. The state isn't distributing your assets according to what you would have wanted. It's distributing them according to a rigid, one-size-fits-all formula called the laws of intestacy, which literally means dying without a will. And that formula often does not match what a real family would choose. Your stepchildren, your close friends, the charities you cared about, your long-term partner if you never married, under this formula, they may get nothing at all. Let's make this concrete, because this is where it gets personal. Say you own a home and have a life insurance payout sitting in savings, and you pass without a will. If you're married, your spouse doesn't automatically get everything. In many states, they get a share, and the rest is carved up among your children. If you have kids from a previous marriage, the state may divide your home between your new spouse and those children, creating a situation where your spouse must either buy out your kids, sell the family home, or share it with people they may not get along with. If you're unmarried but living with a partner, a very common situation, your partner inherits nothing unless the property is titled in both names. The entire estate may go to blood relatives you haven't spoken to in years. And if you have no relatives at all, the state can claim your entire estate. Everything you worked for goes to the government. Here's the part that keeps estate attorneys up at night, and it's the reason this video exists. If you die without a will and you have minor children, you have not named a guardian. That decision, who raises your kids if you're gone, does not get made by you. It gets made by a judge. The judge will consider family members, and sometimes the state will place your children with someone you would never have chosen. Your child's future is decided by a stranger in a courtroom, based on a formula, not on your wishes. You named a guardian in your mind 1,000 times, maybe your sister, maybe your best friend, but in your mind is not a legal document. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. This is the single most important reason to have a will. Not for your money, for your children. A will is the only document that lets you choose who raises them. So by now you might be thinking, fine, I'll get a will. And you should. But here's the honest truth. A will is the foundation, not the whole house. A will does 3 essential things. It names your executor, it names a guardian for your kids, and it says who gets your assets. It's one of the most important documents you'll ever sign. But it does not automatically protect your home from nursing home costs. It does not automatically avoid probate. And it does not handle the 3 biggest threats to everything you've built. That's what this series is about. Over the next few videos, I'm going to show you the specific legal tools that protect your home and savings from the 3 things that drain family estates: nursing home costs, probate fees, and family conflict. You're watching video 1, the foundation. Get the will right, and the rest of the structure has somewhere to stand. Here's the thing I need you to hear, and I'll say it plainly. The best time to do this was years ago. The second best time is this week. I know it feels like a task for someday, but I've seen too many families learn the hard way that someday doesn't wait. The health crisis that lands you in a nursing home doesn't check your to-do list first. It doesn't wait until you've drafted your documents. It arrives on its own schedule, and if your plan isn't in place, it's too late for the tools that require planning in advance. That's the uncomfortable truth about estate planning. The most powerful protections, the ones that shield your home from the nursing home, the ones that keep your savings out of probate, have to be set up while you're healthy. Not in the middle of a crisis, before. So here's what I want you to take away. Without a will, the state decides who gets your home, your savings, and your kids. 2 out of 3 Americans never write one, and their families pay the price in court fees, conflict, and lost control. But a will is just the foundation. The real protection for your home and your life savings comes from the tools I'm going to show you next. If you want to make sure your family is protected, the first step is a conversation. Reach out to an attorney. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video.